Welcome to another installment of This Is Not Normal on the Political Drain podcast with Drill Sergeant Doug, aka Admin Doug, a U.S. Army veteran, teacher, musician, and family man from Jamaica, now fights for justice and democracy through commentary and humor. Follow him on YouTube at Political Drain and at Sons of Liberty Official as Drill Sergeant, aka Admin Doug, continues to protect our freedoms.
North Carolina is turning into a fascist state. They are doing everything in their power to be the most fascist, the quickest, the least democratic, so that they too can get the stroking from their golden god in White House. They're doing it because they're horrible, greedy, disgusting, filthy people. The Republican Party is, especially in North Carolina. All of them. Every single one of them are disgusting, grotesque caricatures of mustache-twirling cartoon villains that have all used God and the Bible and a billion churches on every fucking corner in that godforsaken state to destroy the minds of normal, decent human people into voting for them. All of them. None of them when it came to helping out people after the hurricane. None of them wanted that money there. None of them. And here we go again, YouTube. Here we go again in North Carolina with the Republicans still trying to steal a seat on the North Carolina State Supreme Court. The latest, the North Carolina Court of Appeals, made up of a 3-judge panel, 2 Republicans and 1 Democrat, who sees what's coming next, has ordered the North Carolina Board of Elections to verify each ballot of the 65,000 ballots that are being challenged by the Republican candidate. People, they have only 15 days to verify 65,000 ballots, 34,000 of which are U.S. military personnel stationed overseas. So much for your Patriot Party. You fake-triots disgust me. North Carolina is turning into a fascist state. They are doing everything in their power to be the most fascist, the quickest, the least democratic, so that they too can get the stroking from their golden god in White House. Actually, more importantly, they're not doing it just for the golden stroke. They're doing it because they're horrible, greedy, disgusting, filthy people. The Republican Party is. Especially in North Carolina. All of them. Every single one of them are disgusting, grotesque caricatures of mustache-twirling cartoon villains that have all used God and the Bible and a billion churches on every fucking corner in that godforsaken state to destroy the minds of normal, decent human people into voting for them. All of them. That's why I say that, because it's not like there's a few fighting back. None of them. None of them when it came to helping out people after the hurricane. None of them wanted that money there. None of them. All of them are there to line their pockets and keep power and will use you, all of you, to gain it. Let's get back to the story. Let's review. The Democratic candidate, the Judge Allison Riggs, currently the incumbent judge, won her bid for re-election in November. It was a tight race. Only 734 votes separated the two candidates. Republican candidate Jefferson Griffin, sound like a goddamn Family Guy character, asked for a recount. A machine recount verified the win for Justice Riggs by 734 votes. A hand recount verified the same thing. Then Jefferson Griffin filed a lawsuit in district court contesting 65,000 ballots be thrown away. District court ruled against him. Now, if you're honest with yourself, you fucking racist piece of shit, you power-hungry, idiot Republican, MAGA filth out there, if you're honest with yourself, you don't have to type it. You know that when they demanded a recount and then the second recount, the only reason why you file a new lawsuit and didn't file that one first is because you're looking for shit to find. Or you would have filed the lawsuit first about the 65,000 ballots. But you will do that, Republicans of North Carolina, because you know you have your constituents so trained, so brainwashed, so down bad that you no longer fear doing even the dumbest, most 5-year-old shit in public because your constituency has been trained to be fucking idiots. You've trained them well. You trained them to negate all reality. Good job. After the recount decided who was the winner, and then after the lawsuit was thrown down, it went to a federal court. The federal court kicked it out and sent it back to the state again. Then the first appeal in the state court ruled against Jefferson Griffin. And now the North Carolina Court of Appeals, with the majority Republicans, has ruled in favor of the Republican candidate. Wow. I'm so surprised. In all honesty, I was surprised, and I've been surprised all throughout this. We've been bringing this to you since it happened, since day one, since the election day till now. Our people in North Carolina are on the job, on the ball. They're on it. They're sending me everything I need to know and you need to know. What I need to know is, where's the media? Why are we the only ones reporting on this? Us and Brian Tyler Cohen. This travesty of justice, the rise of fascism, and the jettison of democracy in an entire state, month number 4. Where is it on the media? You see, those crumb snatchers, the disgusting gremlins that call themselves the Republican Party in North Carolina, have not given up. Because they understand that as long as they keep lying, keep fighting, and keep giving their stupid fucking voters something to vote for, then by gosh, they'll do it. Because there's no one there to combat them. There's no one there to call it out. The media nationally has forsaken them. We will not. This ruling has placed the North Carolina Board of Elections in a nightmare, almost impossible scenario, people. They have to verify 65,000 ballots again in 15 days. And that was last week. It's almost done. The majority of these ballots are absentee ballots from American citizens living overseas, military people, many of them, or like my business partner for the MC's channel, who's an American citizen living in Australia. Yeah, these people sent in ballots and will more than likely be negated. Fuck your democracy. Do what we say, and we won't stop recounting and suing and doing everything we can to ensure that we have power over you. And when the pitchforks come, they will act surprised. Jefferson Griffin is contesting some of these ballots from U.S. service members because they failed to provide ID. But the website where military personnel voted had a notice up that no ID was required. YouTube, how does the judge overlook that? Well, 2 of them are Republicans. That's how. Because lying, cheating, and destroying confidence in democratic principles is the Republican Party, the platform. If you think it's otherwise, you have yet to open your eyes in the new dystopia. This same bum-ass Nazi is also contesting absentee ballots from American citizens currently overseas that he claims have never lived in North Carolina. Some of these overseas voters were born in North Carolina. They are U.S. citizens and citizens of North Carolina. According to the Constitution, no matter where they currently reside, they can vote in North Carolina, YouTube. This is an example of how the Republican candidate is trying to go against the U.S. Constitution, and he is trying to change the rules of the election after he lost the election. That's all that there is. Welcome again to the repeat show. Welcome again. It looks like a rerun. Every month or so, we come back with another update that sounds a lot like Republican = fascist on purpose. Constituents = fucking idiots and loving it. Now, that's the facts. The one thing I find interesting in this case is the reaction of the people of North Carolina. During the first appeals process, about 100 people gathered outside the courthouse to protest. Some of the signs seen during this protest read, "Follow the law or we support Allison." The protest was peaceful and the signs respectful. But when the case went to the North Carolina Court of Appeals, there were 3 times as many people, between 300 and 400 people gathered outside YouTube. And the signs have changed. Some now read crybaby or loser and read the Constitution, quote unquote. I love it. I love it. They're realizing the gravity of the situation. The people of North Carolina are becoming more aware of the Republicans trying to steal the seat, and they're becoming more assertive in the message that they're sending to the North Carolina GOP. And here's the point, people. Here's the point. Nonviolence is a choice. The reason why it matters that there's millions of people on April 5th all over the country nonviolently going out and speaking out is because the people smart enough to understand human reality that we live in understands that that representation of people who are nonviolent will only stay so much as long as they are filled, as long as their bellies are full, as long as they have a car to drive and can pay another month's rent. Those millions of people, when they don't have those things, will not need to be told to be violent. You understand the point? And this is where you're leading them. This is where we're being led. They see those numbers and they understand, whether you understand it or not, whether they report on it or not, whether they hide the truth or not, understand humans, when they're hungry, will not be peaceful. And that crowd don't look too happy.
These are some of the more than 1,400 protests that took place this weekend, protesting the actions of the Trump administration. I mean, this is me showing you 20 of them all at once. I could show you 20 at once for this entire hour, and we still wouldn't get through all of them. If you follow me on Blue Sky, I posted footage from hundreds of different protests that all took place this weekend on Saturday. But just looking at this 20, let me tell you what you're looking at here. Starting at the top, going left to right, and then top to bottom. Upper left-hand corner, that's Atlanta, Georgia. Police estimated at least 20,000 people turned out in Atlanta, Georgia. Los Angeles, where the LA Times said the number was easily in the tens of thousands. The crowd may have reached 100,000 in Los Angeles alone. Another huge one in Seattle. Minimum estimates there, maybe 14,000 people. But just keep going. Huntsville, Alabama, Portland, Oregon, Davenport, Iowa, Charlotte, North Carolina, Green Bay, Wisconsin, Lansing, Michigan, Palm Beach, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona had a huge one. Providence, Rhode Island, Salt Lake City, Utah was huge. Austin, Texas, Buffalo, New York, Columbia, South Carolina, Indianapolis, Indiana was massive. Sacramento, California, another huge one. Detroit, Michigan, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I mean, that's 20 of, again, more than 1,400. Here's 20 more. Again, left to right, top to bottom. Upper left-hand corner, that's Baltimore, Maryland. Then go left to right, across the top, and then we'll go down. Baltimore, Maryland is the upper left, then Pittsburgh, PA, Tampa Bay, Florida, Helena, Montana, Rapid City, South Dakota. Washington, D.C., the crowd was estimated at 100,000 people plus. Chicago, Illinois is next to D.C. there. The crowd estimate there was even larger than it was in Washington.
Republicans in the House and the Senate. That crowd don't look happy. They're big, they're nonviolent, but they soon will be hungry. Judges, appellate court, governors, city council, This is not a threat. I'm asking you for your safety to open your eyes. Keep cheating the American people of their vote and find out what happens as a consequence when hungry people have no recourse through the law. Think about this. In November, Democrats elected their candidates to every constitutionally mandated seat in North Carolina state government, with the exception of one, with the exception of only the auditor's office. In November of 2026, in the midterms, they will be focused on the state legislature. That legislature should heed the message being sent by the people of North Carolina. Their failure in this will lead to their own demise. And that's your best case scenario, because North Carolina is changing. They were once a typical Southern state and scarlet red throughout. The propagandists on the right still try to say that they are red. But my people on the ground there, people who live there, will tell you, look at the seats won by the Democrats in North Carolina state government. You can readily see that it is simply not the case anymore. They are now very purple there, very purple. And if things stay nonviolent, then we still have a problem in the elections. That's why they're trying to cheat. That's why they're trying to cheat. And the more the people become aware of the whining and the crying and the unconstitutional attempt at overthrowing a free and fair election in which Judge Allison won for the sixth time now? The more the people of North Carolina will push the pendulum to the left. They don't care about the will of the voters. They don't care about the law. I mean, let's be honest. If the protesters outside the North Carolina Court of Appeals had been MAGA, they would have been assaulting police officers, breaking out windows, and vandalizing the building. We've seen it before. But what kind of a man is incapable of accepting a loss? I believe this is yet another example of the toxic masculinity within the Republican Party, especially the MAGA within the Republican Party. The signs at the protests were right. Crybaby. Loser. This adult male, and I say adult in jest, Jefferson Griffin, can't stand the fact that he got beat by a girl. So he will whine and he will cry and claim he got a boo-boo all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. So what's next for Allison Riggs? She's already appealing the North Carolina Court of Appeals ruling. So the next step will be to get the case in front of the North Carolina Supreme Court, and no matter the outcome, that ruling will no doubt be appealed. Allison Riggs would appeal the decision because she's concerned with what is right and true. She's concerned with the election laws and the U.S. and state constitution. She's concerned about the rights of voters to participate and not be disenfranchised. And Judge Jefferson Griffin, the cartoon fucking character name, is concerned with power for himself. And that's it. But here's where we have some good news, you two. This case will no doubt end up in federal court, and Allison Riggs is one of the top legal experts in the entire country in election laws. Just so happened to be, right? She is someone whom the other states consult when they have questions about federal election laws, especially election laws regarding the voting rights of U.S. military personnel stationed abroad. That's her expertise. So, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over. Her voice carries weight. This is one of the reasons the people of North Carolina voted for her in the first place. This is also the reason the Republicans want to silence her, so they can continue their right-wing power grab in that state. And if they're successful with that un-American, unpatriotic, unconstitutional attempt to overthrow the elections, that will spread to other states. So we should care. We should write. We should show up where we can. We should spread the word, since the regular media, since the paid and bought for corporate media refuses to. By the way, We need an executive assistant, someone to help the coordination, to help the emails. We need someone to help with the growing team that we have, keep dates, schedule appointments. We need someone who's good at that, who's good at helping, who's proactive in their workflow. If you have those type of skills, let us know right down there. Also, the first way that we've started funding the resistance is through Patreon. www.patreon.com/politicaldrainaction. That's how we're funding the resistance. The brand new missions are already started. Helping people in need costs money. That's how we're funding it. Help us save what we have left to save here while we can. Educate yourself, educate others, and come back for more. Follow us on all these things you see here, and our link tree is in the description. Maybe even get some merch.
That was the Political Drain podcast, which can be heard on pd.groovechillradio.com daily and can be viewed on the Political Drain YouTube channel anytime. Once again, thank you for listening to Groove Chill as we resist fascism in any form, pursue democracy, peace, and love.